Filming for Season 2 of Dexter Resurrection has finally kicked off, and lots of new information has been pouring out since. So, today we are going over every new detail we now know about the upcoming season, including the old theories we can rule out, and the new ones cropping up each day. Let's get started with some major casting announcements that are going to shake everything up. First off, we have to address some of the big names returning to the series. It was revealed that Uma Thurman will in fact be reprising her role as Charlie Brown. The last we saw of Charlie, she had just quit her job as Leon Prater's head of security, took her sickly mother, and fled New York entirely. To recap, after Leon killed Batista, Charlie was agitated to say the least. Never mind the gnarly wound she took to the arm protecting her boss as Dexter threw an axe at them, Leon's increasingly brash behavior was becoming a big problem for her. Killing a cop on the night of a famous gala celebrating law enforcement, in the same exact venue no less, was definitely a choice. But in Charlie's eyes, it was a dangerously stupid one. Reckless decisions like that put Leon at great risk, complicating Charlie's job, and even potentially put her in a position to be arrested herself. But the real reason she quit was because Dexter revealed to her that Prater had been keeping a file on her filled with incriminating evidence. With any illusion of loyalty eliminated, Charlie was done with Leon and knew she needed to lay low. Hence the move to Amherst, Pennsylvania with her mother. Of course, she couldn't have predicted that Dexter would actually manage to escape the vault, and she definitely didn't expect him to kill Leon the same night. But the news that the vault was discovered, Batista's body was found, and Leon was missing almost definitely reached every corner of the country after everything went down. But of course, there was no mention of Harrison, Dexter, or the Bay Harbor. But in those reports, so Charlie has to know that Dexter got away scot-free. With that kind of info, Charlie is coming into Season 2 knowing Dexter's built different. So what's her play? Why is she coming back to the city at all? We'll look into that in a minute, but first let's look at who else we can expect to see in October. It was also announced that Desmond Harrington is coming back as a series regular for Season 2. That's right, Detective Joey Quinn is returning, and that can only mean one thing. He's on to Dexter. After receiving a call from Detective Claudette Wallace regarding Angel's presence in New York, Quinn was already weirded out. He was calling Angel, begging him to come home, and next thing he knows, his old partner is suddenly dead. It was speculated that Quinn would have to come back, not only because fans want it, but because it just makes sense for him to be dedicated to figuring out Batista's murder. Well, with this announcement, it looks like that is exactly what's going to happen. Who knows if Quinn will meet a fate similar to Batista. He has been smart enough to lay off of Dexter in the past, and most people think it's the only reason he's still alive. He may have had his own reasons before, but at some point, enough is enough. Dexter drove Dokes, Maria, Deb, and Batista to early graves because of how close they got to his secret. The same thing could happen to Quinn this season if he isn't careful. Will his survival instincts kick in again, or is Quinn willing to take it all the way this time? We have to wait and see. But there is another returning character whose fate, though not confirmed, is a lot more obvious. Indeed, one of the most exciting tidbits to come out so far about the upcoming season is that Eric Stonestreet will likely be back. He made it pretty obvious that Al will be returning for round 2 with Dexter. Fans know that Al, Jolly Walker, was the only member of Prater's little killer club who managed to escape Dexter, but his reckoning isn't far off now. Dexter killed the tattoo collector in his classic iconic fashion, stalking, plastic wrapping, and stabbing him in record time to protect an innocent woman. Then he framed Lady Vengeance and had her arrested to save another innocent person, and she was later found hanging in her cell before trial. The Gemini twins were taken down one at a time. The first Gareth after he broke into Dexter's apartment like the overly confident idiot he was, and the second getting murked with nothing but a wine glass in what was undoubtedly one of the most exciting scenes of Season 1. That only left Rapunzel, and Dexter was primed to take him down too. But as we know, Al managed to slip away and leave the state before Dexter could get a needle in his neck. As frustrating as that was for Dexter and fans, it actually ended up being a good thing for Dexter, because Batista was hot on his trail that night and would have walked in on Dexter killing Al if he hadn't gotten away. But Batista is dead now, and more importantly, Dexter has Al's entire file from Prater's vault. He's got his real name, probably a complete list of his crimes, and most certainly more information about where to find him. You can count the number of people who escaped Dexter's table on one hand, and now that he knows where to look, Al's days are numbered. Of course, before now, we couldn't be 100% positive that Eric Stonestreet would be back as Al, because the Dexter franchise has been known to handle some things off-screen between seasons and just write in that it happened. But after seeing what Rapunzel does to his victims, we all wanted a payoff of seeing him get outsmarted and taken down by Dexter. a fate someone so vile definitely deserves. Well, the guessing game is basically over now. When talking about the future of his character Al, Stonestreet said in a recent interview, "Nobody really ever gets away from Dexter. That's the reality." And he is 100% correct. Even without Prater's file, the odds that Al Jolly would evade Dexter forever were slim to none. He was as good as dead as soon as Dexter saw his little home video at Show and Tell. Stonestreet went on to say that, "I was like, how many people have gotten away from Dexter?" And the producers were like, "Not many." So who knows what's in Al's future is all I can say about that. It's a tease, but it's so thinly veiled that we all know what's coming next. The takeaway. Dexter will have Al on his table one way or another, which means Eric Stonestreet will grace us all with his return sooner or later. And as awesome as that is, it's not even the most exciting news to come out about Season 2. And that's a guarantee because besides returning stars, the upcoming season will also be introducing plenty of fresh faces into the Dexter universe. Notably, Dan Stevens has been added as the Five-Borough Killer, a completely new player and no doubt another worthy target for someone like Dexter. Stevens' resume is quite extensive. You may recognize him from his roles in Godzilla vs. Kong, The New Empire, Downton Abbey, The Show Legion, and plenty more. Honestly, the announcement came out of nowhere, but fans were immediately hyped nonetheless. And don't fret, he isn't likely to be a one-episode kill like Neil Patrick Harris's tattoo collector. According to every report, Stevens has been billed as a series regular. That suggests Dexter won't be getting rid of him quickly, and we will have plenty of this character to sink our teeth into before his time in the series is over. Not much is known about this character yet, but here's what we know so far. First, this doesn't appear to be one of the killers Dexter gained access to through Prater's vault files. The final scene of Season 1 shows that Dexter stole files for killers yet to be seen, such as the Yonkers Slayer, the Jaw Splitter, the Midnight Mangler, and the New York Ripper. Of course, he also stole Al's file, but nothing about the Five Boroughs Killer was shown, so how he comes on to Dexter's radar is not clear just yet. Besides that, we can confirm that the Five Borough Killer's civilian name is Owen Stark, and apparently, he has a habit of calling police to taunt them about his crimes. That may sound similar to the MO of the New York Ripper, but it's also meant to resemble the treachery of the real-life Zodiac killer. Zodiac would toy with authorities, telling them what to do to stop him from striking again, and sending them letters written in code that, if broken, confirmed that he was definitely the man they were looking for. Notice that the New York Ripper started calling police after his murder spree was over, but Zodiac did so as his crime spree was ongoing. Owen Stark is said to be following that playbook, and it's meant to terrorize the city as much as it's meant to embarrass the police. His motives haven't been revealed yet, but they're sure to be revealed in due time. With an MO that disgustingly horrific, it won't matter if Claudette and Oliva get to him first, or if Dexter throws him in the New York harbor. Either way, his capture is sure to be well-deserved and highly satisfying, and the big names just keep coming. The most shocking reveal yet has to be that Brian Cox will be taking on the role of Don Frampt, aka the New York Ripper. Brian Cox is a huge star, and even if you don't recognize his name, you may be familiar with him from his role as Logan Roy on the hit show Succession. No one saw this announcement coming, but now we can't wait to see what he brings to the franchise. People are already expecting a Trinity-level arc from him, and who can blame them? The first season of Resurrection set up the Ripper's storyline in such a way that everyone was waiting with bated breath. A serial killer with a double-digit body count who was never caught, despite being hunted by an obsessive, hard-hitting detective. Audiences have been dying to figure out the Ripper's identity, and now we have a face to the name. And Brian Cox is such a phenomenal actor, it's basically a foregone conclusion that his performance as the New York Ripper will likely rival the likes of John Lithgow's Trinity, Clancy Brown's Runaway Killer, and Christian Camargo's embodiment of ITK. And as exciting as it is to get this kind of news, there is one aspect of this announcement that has left some fans scratching their heads. If you've been watching since the beginning, you know the traditional formula for a stellar Dexter season. The identity of the big bad is a mystery for most of the season, and Dexter has to figure out who it is before the police do. Usually the audience finds out who it is around the same time Dexter does. Even in the prequel Dexter Original Sin, Captain Aaron Spencer isn't revealed to be the killer until halfway through the show, same with Kurt in New Blood. But now we are going into the season knowing who and what we are looking for. Doesn't that take away some of the shock value and tension of the season? Why would they announce his identity so early? Well, it may seem like an early announcement, but there's something significant about them letting the cat out of the bag this early. Think about it, no one would take the air out of their own sails like that. If the big bad has been revealed this early, that means there are definitely layers to the plot that we can't even guess. Think Rudy being Dexter's brother, Professor Geller being a hallucination, or Miguel working with the Skinner behind the scenes. Those revelations were all jaw-dropping, and they added depth to the identity of the season's big bad. The showrunners told us who the New York Ripper is because there is an even bigger plot twist they are holding back, something that is going to have fans in a chokehold. Aside from Cox and Stevens, there are 2 more newcomers with highly intriguing roles this season. It's been announced that Bokeem Woodbine will be joining the cast as the NYPD's captain of Homicide. You may not be familiar with him, but Woodbine is known for his roles in the Halo television series and Spider-Man: Homecoming, amongst other titles. As for his character in Dexter, Captain Mixon, not many details have been released just yet, but he is expected to be serious and dogged in his position at the head of the Homicide Department. He has a daughter named Fiona Mixon, who will be portrayed by Nona Parker Johnson. This is interesting as well, particularly because Fiona Mixon is billed as the latest love interest of one Harrison Morgan. There are a few implications and theories that arise from that kind of news. For one, this means that his romance with Gigi has fizzled out and died. Fans were divided about their relationship from the beginning. Some loved her for Harrison, others not so much. Either way, she's apparently out of the picture in Season 2 of Resurrection. That probably means that there was an off-screen breakup, similar to when Batista and Barbara Gianna broke up between Seasons 3 and 4, or when LaGuerta and Batista got an off-screen divorce between Seasons 5 and 6 of the series. The point is, Gigi is out and Fiona is in, and that is likely to create some problems for Harrison and Dexter. These Morgan men can't seem to stay away from dating women connected to law enforcement officers. If you recall, in New Blood, Harrison dated Audrey, the daughter of Angela Bishop, the chief of police in Iron Lake, who Dexter himself was dating at the time. Now, Harrison has his sights on Fiona, who is the daughter of the captain of Homicide. It's likely that she and Harrison will have met while attending the Collins College of Criminology. Photos from the set show the pair working closely together and dressed in police uniform, meaning they are both probably in the police academy by the time it begins. For Dexter, that was an advantageous relationship. Dating the police chief in Room Lake gave him a great cover and a higher presumption of innocence when people in the town started disappearing and dying. He was also able to get inside information from her during casual conversations that could help him stay ahead of the investigations he was secretly responsible for. And of course, in the original series, he was embedded in the police department as part of the forensics team. In Season 1 of Resurrection, no such relationship existed, and that made it harder for Dexter to predict the move's authorities, though it didn't stop him from outsmarting them in the end. Now with Harrison dating Captain Min's daughter, it could either help the Morgans or hurt them. She could unwittingly transfer sensitive police information to Harrison that helps keep Dexter from being caught in the long run. But on the flip side, she could take after her father, be a naturally skilled detective, and potentially find out more about Dexter and Harrison's past than to know. Of course, that would put her in pretty serious danger, so we can only hope that she doesn't figure out that Harrison killed Ryan, or that Dexter is a killer himself either. People don't last long in Dexter's world after learning those kinds of details. Viewers are already speculating that Fiona will be a problem for Dexter, but there is absolutely no way he would kill an innocent young woman, even if she did figure him out. So there's no telling what her presence is going to mean for him just yet, but it's yet another intense layer of this story that we get to navigate in the upcoming season, and we can't wait to see how everything pans out. Dexter does his best work when he has inside information from the police, but after everything that happened in Iron Lake, he hates interfering with Harrison's happiness and normalcy. So will he try to capitalize on Harrison's relationship or try to keep them both at arm's length? One thing is for sure, it's going to be a wild ride seeing how his son's new connection with Fiona impacts Dexter's kills and how he covers them up this season. With that, let's discuss some of the most popular new theories circulating online right now about Season 2. One question still lingering in fan circles is whether Mia LaPierre will actually return or not. She was shown to be dead in her cell, but her file in Leon's vault still listed her as active at the end of Season 1, so her death could very well have been staged. Her return would mean that Harrison's Ryan Foster issues could resurface. And with Harrison's life evolving the way it is, him trying to suppress his own urge to kill, dating a police captain's daughter, and trying to become a cop himself, having that problem pop up again could have some serious consequences for his life. And if she starts making issues for his son, Mia could find herself on a kill table so fast her head would spin. But, of course, all of the Mia theories are strictly speculation. Other theories have a bit more substance to them. First, all of the fun fan theories about who the New York Ripper is have pretty much fallen away with the announcement of Brian Cox's casting. People were pointing the finger at just about everyone in online forums, from Jonah Mitchell to Blessing Kamara, and even Gigi as potentially being the Ripper or being directly attached to him. Besides the producers themselves saying a while ago that it was definitely not Jonah, none of those other theories seem to be on the table anymore either now. Pictures from the set show Don Frampton in a wheelchair, meaning that there is no way he is still active as a killer, and it's unlikely that he will be pulling a Tooth Fairy play by getting in one last kill before officially retiring. It looks like the Ripper's killing days are solidly far behind him, so how is Dexter gonna get him on it? Does he have a young protege or someone who knows his secret and wants to recreate his work? Will his phone calls to the police give Dexter the information he needs to track him down? Blessing and his daughter Joy are very helpful. They helped Dexter immensely and have yet to realize he's an active serial killer. Maybe they have a similar connection to Don Frampton, who could appear to be a disabled old man in need. And Blessing is a killer with somewhat of a short temper himself. That's what led people to think he could be the Ripper in the first place. Is he above helping someone he knows is a killer? What else is he hiding? And then there's Joy's fiancé and his obsession with gut health. He has been a bit of an afterthought so far in the series, but could he be in cahoots with the Ripper, who himself is obsessed with his guts, albeit in a much different way? Maybe it's nothing, but that hasn't stopped fans from talking. Anything is possible right now. And what about Charlie? Even though it disgusted her, she's protected killers before. Is she returning to the city to work for the Ripper? Why is she coming back at all? Keep in mind, Dexter didn't take her file when he fled Prater's vault, so wouldn't the police be looking for her? Someone like Charlie is more than capable of protecting herself, but having a little help couldn't hurt. And the Ripper knows how to evade police. He's been doing it for decades. Not only that, but Leon clearly had a relationship with the New York Ripper. Besides the entire file he had on the Ripper, Leon also had his weapon as a trophy in the vault. And a detail many people may have forgotten is the moment when Leon realized there was no wheelchair ramp to the stage at his gala. It could be nothing, but so far we only know of one character who is in a wheelchair, the New York Ripper. Given his obsession with serial killers and his desire to impress them, it's not ridiculous to think that the reason Leon was so annoyed by the absence of the ramp was because of how it would offend the Ripper if he attended the gala that night. Even with Leon MIA, Charlie could have a pre-existing connection to the Ripper from her time as Prayers Keeper, and the Ripper could have a close relationship with law enforcement himself, just like his buddy Leon did. So getting close to Don Frampton could be beneficial for Charlie as she tries to keep the police from investigating her connection to Prater, who is now a wanted cop killer as far as the general public knows. It's just a theory, but Charlie becoming a protector for Don isn't unrealistic and would explain her return to NYC more than anything else we know so far. Whatever her role, we are just excited to see Uma and all of these huge stars working inside the Dexter universe. Season 2 of Resurrection drops in October, so all of these theories will be proven or discarded soon enough. In the meantime, there will no doubt be tons more information and announcements coming from the set. So if you liked this video, slash that subscribe button for all of the latest news and theories surrounding Dexter Resurrection because we will be covering everything. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.